If you're thinking about owning a firearm, there is one critical step that you cannot skip: competency training. Many people still don't understand what it involves, why it's required, or how to avoid costly mistakes along the way. Today, I'm joined by Francois Leroux from True Fire Competency Training, who is also a senior lone operator instructor and an accredited competency trainer, to explain exactly what firearm competency is, how the process works, and how you can get started the right way. Francois, good evening. Welcome.
Thank you, Rian, for having me.
Okay, let's jump straight in. For viewers who may not know you yet, can you tell us how you became involved in the industry? What led you to not only becoming an instructor on lone operator, but also an accredited instructor for competencies?
So shooting was, I think, bred into me. I've been shooting since I was 6. So yeah, it's been a long time. I applied for my first firearm license when I was 18. And yeah, life happened between that and so on, and took about 2.5 years for that application to come through. In that time, I started working, and I kind of forgot about it. And then it came through. I got the firearm, but I was too busy to shoot. And a few years went by, and then one day, frustrated, irritated, I came home, decided I'm taking the weekend off, I'm going shooting, and the bug just rebit me. And I've been pretty much standardly shooting every weekend since. But in that time, the stuff happened and on. And in 2013, I was unfortunately burgled. And I decided, okay, I'm buying a self-defense pistol because my previous one is a bit big. So yeah, and then after that, I decided, okay, this normal stuff is not going to work. You need proper training. So I started looking, and a lot of doors were slammed in my face because I'm not a sports shooter. And a lot of guys I phoned, guys that I now know, phoned, and they sounded very abrasive over the phone. So I decided this is not the kind of people for me. And then, yeah, the way just led me to the only next thing is to do business. And after that, it is auto and so on. And I ended up with a few good people that sent me into the way of instructor training for proficiency.
You are also now one of the senior instructors on the Lone Operator program. What role do you play there? What have you learned from training ordinary South Africans in practical firearm use?
Mainly, it's a clown role. No, I'm just joking. It's a little inside joke there.
The people on the Lone Operator training will understand that one.
So they'll get that. Yeah, mainly we're there to help improve and get students to be more comfortable with their firearm. I think one of the big things that we try to do there is to mentally and physically prepare students for what could possibly happen. And I think if we train and do our job well enough, and they get to the mindset where they need to be, they might even be able to avoid anything from happening at all. And that's kind of the mission that we have there, and that's kind of the view I have of it and what we are trying to achieve there. So just get everybody to be capable and be better, more responsible firearm owners.
When you hear the word competency, some people have an understanding what it means. A lot of people are not quite certain exactly what it entails. So what exactly is firearm competency training, and why does it form such a critical part of the whole responsible firearm ownership situation?
Yeah, so the competency training is actually the wrong mythology for it. It's proficiency training, so you can apply for your competency. But I've stopped fighting that fight. Nobody wants to to get the conventions right. So basically, it is training to prepare yourself for owning a firearm. So this is required by law for everything. So when you do your first firearm type, so there's 4 categories: handgun, shotgun, manually operating rifle, and self-loading rifle. And then with any of your first category, you will do law, which is the basic understanding of the Firearm Control Act. And that is so it's just basically getting you to a point where when SAPS issues you a competency certificate, when you apply for it with the proficiency training that you do on my side, they will then be able to say, okay, this guy is proficient with his firearm. And the biggest problem with that, the misconception is people think, I'm now proficient. I have now arrived. And that is one of the big misconceptions that usually happen.
Okay. Let's go to TrueFire. Who are you? What services do you offer? What is your connection then with Fortis Proactive Defense Solutions? Because you are listed as one of the providers or partners. Do you offer special rates to loan operator members? How does that work?
So all the services we provide is any proficiency training, so any basic competency training for handgun, shotgun, self-loading rifle, manually operating rifle. We also do motivations, and we help with the SAPS paperwork. A lot of people are terrified of all of that paperwork, and they're already terrified of going to SAPS on a good day. So we help you with the paperwork. So basically, you've got a packet of paperwork that you print and you take it to SAPS, and they just have to process it. Then my connection to Loan Operator, yeah, we are one of their partners, and very grateful for that. The community is always awesome. That's why I'm where I am. But yeah, so we do offer discounts for their members. As per the hub, the membership is basically bronze, silver, gold, and apex, and that depends on your participation and your part that you play in the loan operator family. And then yeah, we offer 3%, 5%, 10%, and 50% discounts for them.
If I want to become a firearm owner, can you take me through the step or through the process step by step to make it very clear to anybody listening to this? From the moment they contact you at TrueFire until they've received their competency certificate from SAPS and are now ready for the next licensing steps.
Yeah, so first thing I'll do is I'll try and establish what the client actually needs, because a lot of people phone me and then I think their licenses are expiring, so their proficiency expiring, which it does not. So you just try and figure out what the client exactly needs on their part, and from there whatever they need, we will then sometimes it's just advice. Sometimes I sit on the phone for 20 minutes and I just give someone a bit of advice and they can then do with it as they please. But otherwise, I would then, if let's say they want to do law and all 4 categories, I will then say, okay, cool, I'll get their details. I'll send them an invoice. As soon as payment is made, we'll register them, and then I'll get books and everything ready for them. Then we'll have a little meeting. When I hand the books over to them, then I'll explain everything. So the first thing you will do is you will get your manual, which is basically your learning material, and an open book test that you will complete at home. So yeah, this is just the basics. It's really simple. Everybody gets scared by all the work, and most of us don't learn every day of our lives anymore out of school. So it's a bit terrifying. So yeah, so I'll explain it through them, show them what to fill in, everything, anything that they struggle with, they can always contact me. And then after that, when they're ready, they've gone through their book, they filled in the open book test, they're ready for their final exam. If they maybe have a question or anything they need to get together in between, we might do that. But usually we just get together on the range, write a little short test, shoot a few rounds, have some fun talking about the stuff. And basically that is about it. After that, it's certificates and they can go right to SAPS.
How many rounds do you have to shoot for that exercise?
So it depends on the firearm, but it's usually about 10, 15, but it depends on the person. Some people, some people need 50 rounds to get sorted. Some guys, especially usually the very novice guys, they're 10 rounds right there, happy to go. I think it's just because they are more attentive to not knowing anything about firearms, so they pay more attention than the guys that have already got all the bad habits ingrained.
That makes sense. Where are you situated?
We are situated in Pretoria East, so we mainly work in this area. I've had a few calls from different people in different areas, so we have a few other affiliates that I usually send them to if they're in KwaZulu-Natal or Cape Town or anywhere like that.
And then where do people get hold of you?
So they can just go to our website. It's truefire.co.za.
Okay. I'll also display that on the top right-hand corner of the video for the duration so that people can see it there. Francois, last question. For somebody who's been putting off getting their competency or starting this whole firearm ownership journey, what advice would you give them? And why would you say is now is a good time to start to take that first step?
So there's three things I'd like to mention there. One is definitely the sooner you start, the sooner you'll be done. So if you get it started, you sort it. I get so many people that I talk to someone and I say, yeah, no, they have to get it done, but it's such a long process. And then a year or two later, you bump into them again, and then they still haven't started. They're still like, yeah, but the process is so long. It would have been finished already. So the sooner you get it started, the sooner it will be done. Secondly, people think it's difficult. It's not as difficult as people think. The braai, standing around the braai stories has made this whole getting a firearm license a way bigger mountain than it actually is. It is a process, definitely, and which is exactly what you need, because we do not want every Tom Dick to have a firearm in this country. We already have a problem with unlicensed firearm. So we want to keep it controlled. So it's good. I think it's a good method of a process we have currently. And yeah, so it's not as bad as you think. Speaking to someone like me will guide you through the process, will help you, will get you sorted, and you'll have your firearm before you can even think about it being over. A year will pass like nothing. And then thirdly, what I think the biggest issue at this stage is there's so many other components in South Africa working against legal firearm owners. The legal firearms owners get a bad rep because of all the stuff happening that they have no control or responsibility over. And I don't even want to start talking about all the stats and so on, but so there's a lot of elements working against us. So in my opinion, it is rather get it sooner than later. Be part of the community. And as soon as you see this community, you'll see what a nice bunch of proper, down-to-earth people we are. And the more people we have in this community, the better chance we have to keep this community safe from any of those interfering elements.
That works for me. Well, there you have it. I'll be displaying Francois' contact details on screen, truefire.co.za. If you like the video, please click the like button. Please subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon so you can get notifications of all our new videos coming out. And if you're interested in any of the training, now remember, this training is what should ideally follow once you have received done your proficiency, gotten your competency certificate, and gotten your firearm license, and wondering where to go from next. If you're interested in any of the training, there is always a link in the description below. Check it out. We look forward to seeing you on a range one of these days. Francois, that's it from me. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rian.